Hey everyone, and welcome to Alive. Here I am. It's Sharon from I Restore Stuff. I'm in Australia. I'm based in south of Brisbane in Heritage Park, where we hold workshops and I teach other people how they can upcycle furniture, paint furniture mostly, restore some of those things that you might have around the house that you're about to give away or kick to the curb or that kind of thing. So when you jump on, let me know that you're here so I can see some comments coming, and I'll get started. But in the description, you might have seen that in the description of my live, that I'm painting our newly built farmhouse. It's actually a coffee table. I don't know if I put table or coffee table. Yes, I did put coffee table in the description. So what's happened is, hey Rebecca, hey Stephen, how are you going? What's happened is my father-in-law is an awesome DIY. He just loves doing woodworking and that kind of thing. So hey guys, thanks so much for joining me. If you've just joined, I'm going to be doing some, I don't even know if we'll get to the painting today, but I just wanted to show you our newly built farmhouse coffee table that my father-in-law helped to build. And I've put the link to the plans that we used up in the description of the live. But I've just discovered Anna White. Has anyone else used her plans and projects? And she just makes the most amazing stuff. She has video tutorials, printed plans. This is it. Let me show you. So we printed out these plans from her blog post, which I've got a link to up there in the description of the live. Hi guys. Hi Darlene from Alabama. Great to see you here. Yes, Rebecca, she's awesome, isn't she? I think I saw her, some of her blog posts come up on Pinterest and that kind of thing. I said, oh, that's lovely. But my goodness, when you actually click on the blog posts, there's so much detail in all of the posts. So I've printed out all of the pages so that I could get together with my dad, Marty's dad, and just figure out how to do the plans, because ours was going to be a little bit different. What I did was, and I'll show you what I had for the top. I had this vision. The tabletop was an existing table that I had lying around the house for years. I'm going to see if I can actually hold this up to show you. There you go. It's really tall. So that's the gist of it. And I don't know if you remember, or if you've seen a lot of my styled photographs of my furniture pieces that I've done in the past. I use this as a little cheat floorboard for underneath my pieces of furniture, and I don't know what I'm going to do now, because maybe I'll have to drag the coffee table out and set things above it. And I usually do it in this corner of my space over here in my workshop, where it's about the only blank white wall in the house that's got enough natural light in to kind of showcase that. So that's another whole story, how I photograph and stage and style my pieces of furniture when you're putting them up on Marketplace or somewhere to sell. So if you need hints and tips there, yeah, I've got lots of those. So this was an original, just an old tabletop, and it's been lying around, using it for my staging for years. And I thought I just would love to make a farmhouse coffee table with that as the top. So that meant that the plans that I got, that I've got a link for up there in the comments from Anna White's website, I had to adjust those. I figured out that width-wise across here, the plans would fit this tabletop. But the length, I had to extend the length of the base of the table. It's right here. I'm going to show you that in just a second. So hang tight. So the length, I would have to adjust that, to make it a lot longer. I think on her plans, it was a shorter version of this. So I don't know if you can see the full length there. Let's see if I can flip it sideways. And there you go, guys. That's how long it is. So it is quite long. But you know what? The other thing was that, okay, the story goes, and I may have told this on one of my last lives, but that's how we roll here in our house. I build stuff, I paint furniture, I paint old things, and then we use it sometimes in the house because I like it so much. And I had this huge TV console that was the only thing in the house that fit our new flat screen TV width-wise to sit on top of, because we didn't wall mount it for the space that it's in the lounge room. We had to sit it on something. So then I sold it. I sold the TV console. So I said, sorry guys, the flat screen TV is going to have to sit on the floor until I come up with another solution. So this is my next solution. So this is my next solution for the TV stand in the lounge room. So there you go, guys. This is it. It's an old table that a friend gave us. It does have some areas where I probably need to fill. I think on one of these sides there was a bit of a chunk out of here, so I've got some filler. I can do that today. Now let me show you the base. Oh, and then don't you love this bookcase? I've just about finished that for a customer who wanted that colour for their daughter's bedroom. It's called English Rose. Hi Roxana, lovely to have you here, your first time watching. That's awesome. Here we go. This is the base of the table. I don't know if I can shift my camera down any further. I'll try. I might just have to step it back a bit and see if that'll work. There you go. Can you see the base there? So I had another problem with the plans. Well, it wasn't really so much a problem, but it's just a funny story. With these plans that I've got the link for up in the comments from Anna White, it's all in feet and inches. And of course, we're in Australia and I work in centimetres. And so, but Marty's dad works in feet and inches, but Bunnings, when we needed to get some wood and make measurements, they work in centimetres. So it's all just got a little bit complicated. But what I did do is I just sat down and translated. So you can see my red writing here. I've translated all the centimetres that I needed to know. So Anna White's plans, just amazing. She has a shopping list. Not only that of like what size boards you need for this kind of project, but she also has a cut list. So then when you've got your beams and your 2x4s and your 2x6s and whatever, then she's got a cut list of what you actually need to cut in order to make it. I'll take the camera off the stand in a minute and show you around. So yeah, and then she's got step by step, seriously, each page shows you exactly what you need to do. She also has easy version and a hard version. This girl has really made things so easy for everybody. So I really recommend go checking out her site for wood plans if you're into building stuff. The other tip I want to give you, see all of this wood here that I have built it out of, actually came from the recycle centre. I think all of it except these three pieces here. And there's two of those similar size. I think in America you would call these 2x6, 6 inches by 2 inches approximately. So these three came from Bunnings, but even at Bunnings, these were in their like seconds pile in the timber yard section. So they were cheap. But the rest of the wood was like these builder's beams that were all just sitting there in these piles of this kind of raw pine stuff at the Logan Recycle Centre, which is literally down Browns Plains, down the corner from us. So if you have a local recycling centre, look for timber, because pretty much I got all of the timber for $10, except for these. And these was a long beam, and that was about $10 at Bunnings. So that was a really good deal. So there's a tip for you. Check out your recycle centres for timber, for offcuts, all of that kind of thing. There were maybe a couple of screw holes that I had to fill and a couple of staples, that kind of thing. Removed those, then followed the plans, except remember we extended the length of the table so that it would fit the tabletop that I had that it was already existing. So now what I've done with the base is I've painted it in Zinsser BIN Stain blocker, because I was a little concerned that it might have a bleed through in some of these knots in the pine, and these end beams were a little bit of a different colour, and they looked as though they may show through some kind of stain or bleed through when I went to paint it white. So this white primer is actually called Zinsser BIN, and I think I've got that terminology or the link for that in the description in the live up the top. But that'll help to stop any bleed through. It also gives it a nice base colour. So what I did was I actually painted these slats before the other thing I'll tell you was that we also adjusted on the plan was just the gap and the distance, because these slats are a little bit different than what we actually saw in the plans. So you can adjust it and make it yours, or you can go exactly what the plans say. But yeah, so I actually Zinsser did these before we put them in, because how many of you know that it's really hard to get a paintbrush in all those slats? So I did at least the primer, so then when I do the white paint on top, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of get in there and cover that, I think anyway. So that's what I'm up to. Just thought I'd fill you in on that. And I do have my paint and things ready, but I don't know whether to bore you with that or I might just show you, if anyone wanted to hang around for tips on just filling with the wood fillet. I'll show you what I'm going to use for that. I'll get the board back over here. And then we have to, the only thing left to do after I've painted it and filled in this, I've got to stain the top, and then we've got to screw the top to the base. So I'll just bring this closer now so we can have a little closer look at where I'm going to be filling. I'm going to try and fill this big chunk that's here. I'm not sure if you can see that very clearly. Right about here. So what I'm using is this stuff, Timbermate. It's a water-based wood filler, and you can sand it and just shape it to what you want. It also takes the colour of stain. So it will, I'm going to sit here on the table. Oops, no, I'm not going to sit on the table. That was a little bit scary. I think I was going to, let's see, I'll use this one. It's a little bit harder. So what I'm going to do is fill that in there. Now it looks a little bit different to the colour of the wood, but I thought it was better than having a great big chunk there. That it does have a few little dings and divots, which all adds a bit of character to the piece and history. If you've got any questions, just let me know. Anyone else done any wood plans and built something of their own? See, usually I just take old pieces and paint them. It's not very often that I get to build something, but I don't know if I could have done this without Marty's dad doing all of the cutting out of the wood with his tools of trade, that kind of thing. There we go. So now we just got to let that dry. I could go along and fill all of the little gaps in here, but I'm not sure that I want to do everything. I just wanted to get the big chunks out of the way. And once that's dry, it looks like it's kind of overfilled there, but I'll sand that back down. Might actually get this on this side as well. Whoop. You have to just check underneath also if there's a gap under there. Hang on, sorry, I can't really see what's happening on the screen. So if you've got any comments or questions, let me know in the comments and I'll reply as soon as I can. There we go. So that's the basics on how to fill a little gap. And let me turn you back around. Check out see if we've got any questions, comments. Nope, I think we're good. So guys, just remember Anna White, look her up, check out all of the great plans that she has over there on her blog, and I hope you enjoyed or got something out of that little live today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.